love it when you snuggle me. Are you cozy?
Yeah.
Okay. What story am I telling you?
The 3 bears.
Okay. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears, and they lived in the prettiest little house.
No, it goes, no. It goes like this. Goldilocks, you might stay in the garden, okay?
What?
Her mother said she has to stay in the garden.
Oh, it starts that way?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You made that part up, or did you hear a new story?
Oh, it's a new one on a commercial, and it tells you to watch it.
Yeah, that's commercials for you.
Yeah, so you can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it downloaded it.
You downloaded it?
Yeah, and then I made it up.
Oh, you made it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
God made everything.
God did make everything, and then we make stuff out of the stuff that God made. Yeah? Okay. Alright, so let me think then. Okay, Goldilocks' mommy said to her, Goldilocks, don't you leave that garden. You stay right there. What do you think she did? Did she stay there?
Nope.
Nope.
She was telling her truth.
She did what? She was telling the truth? Okay. I think you're right. Or maybe not. I don't know. So, Goldilocks, as soon as her mother went back inside.
I hope she's gonna lie.
You hope she's gonna lie? Goldilocks was a little bit naughty. And she liked to have adventures. And even though her mommy said, don't leave the garden, as soon as her mommy went back inside, what did Goldilocks do? Did she stay or did she leave the garden?
She left it.
She left it? She sure did. Now, at the same time that Goldilocks was leaving her garden, there were 3 bears, and they lived in the prettiest little cottage out in the woods you ever saw. And there was a mama bear, a papa bear, and
Baby bear.
a baby bear, that's right.
He was that tiny.
Oh my gosh, he was that tiny? That is tiny. So, Mama Bear, being the best cook in the house, had made porridge.
I never seen bears.
You've never seen bears?
Yeah, I never seen them. And unicorns too. But unicorns are not real.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they live in fairy tale lands.
Well, bears are also in fairy tales. Does that mean bears are not real? You don't know how to answer that one, huh? Well, maybe bears are real.
Some bears are in winter, like polar bears.
That's true.
Some bears are in winter, and some bears are in fairy tale lands.
Okay. So, you can make a fairy tale out of something that's real. Yeah?
Or you can color and then the truth comes the fairy. Then the magic fairy comes. Pull your tooth out.
What? The tooth fairy?
Yeah.
And what happens when the tooth fairy takes your tooth out?
She gives you a magic coin.
Wow, this story is interesting. That's a little different from the way I heard it. Usually it's your mom or dad or teacher who pulls your tooth out, and then you take the tooth and you put it under your pillow, and the tooth fairy gives you a coin and takes the tooth and gives it to a new baby so that the baby can have teeth. It's like recycling. But maybe you're right. Maybe the tooth fairy takes the tooth out. You got any loose teeth? I don't see any loose teeth yet. Olivia lost her first tooth when she was in kindergarten, so that would be next year for you.
Yeah, when I get this bigger.
That much bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mama Bear had made porridge, right? And was the porridge just right or too cold or what?
too hot.
That's right, it was too hot. So the three bears decided to go for a walk and let the porridge cool down. Now, they were out there enjoying the flowers and the butterflies and everything else. And who do you think showed up at their house?
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks. Oh man, that Goldilocks who was not even supposed to leave her garden. And she walked by and she smelled the smell of the porridge coming out of the kitchen window. And she said, that's good cooking, huh?
Like a ghost? Like, does this... Ooh.
No, not really. That's Daddy's recorder. If you touch it, it's going to make a noise when we listen.
Okay.
You can touch it, just telling you. Yeah, so she smelled the smell and she said, good cooking. And she couldn't take it anymore. She was so hungry and it smelled so good. And she jumped in through the kitchen window. But you know what? She didn't realize it, but there was a bunch of dirty dishes in the kitchen sink. And so she went through the kitchen window and crashed into the dishes. And she knocked some dishes on the floor and they broke and there was soapy water everywhere and she got wet and she fell down over the dishes, crash onto the floor. Well, at least she's in the kitchen now.
She got a little bit wet.
Yeah, a little bit wet.
Okay, though. She'll get a new shirt.
Yes, she will, I'm sure. Because this is just the beginning of the adventure. Well, she looked at the table and she saw 3 bowls. One for Papa Bear, one for Mama Bear, and one for Baby Bear. So she goes up to Papa Bear's bowl and she says, porridge. She gets a spoon and she takes some porridge. She puts it in her mouth. And bleh! She said, this porridge is too hot. And she spat it, pooey, all over the table. Very rude. And then she saw Mama Bear's bowl, and she got the spoon. She got a big spoonful of porridge, and she put it in her mouth. And this porridge is too
hot.
No, that one is too cold. And she spat it all over the table. And then she saw Baby Bear's bowl. And she got the spoon, and she took a big spoonful of Baby Bear's porridge, and she all this porridge is
so right,
just right, and she ate it all up. Burp. Well, now she's got a full tummy, and she feels like watching a little television. So she goes into the living room, and she sees 3 chairs and a TV and a remote. She turns the TV on. And she sees Papa Bear's chair. And it's big, but it's not even facing the right way because he doesn't really like to watch television. He likes to look out the window at stuff. So she tried to move the chair. And it was heavy. And finally she said, I can't do this. But she tried to sit in it anyway. And she jumped in it and crack! Oh! What kind of maniac sits in a chair this hard? It's like made from stone. She said, this is totally inappropriate. I'm not going to sit in this chair. So she goes to Mama Bear's chair, and it was so pretty. It was covered with bows and buttons.
And cake.
And cake, pictures of cake. And what else did it have on it?
Cupcake.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful stuff, everything.
Beautiful stuff, ribbons and flowers and stuff.
Yeah, all of the stuff.
All of the stuff.
And all the designs.
Designs, yeah. Well, it was the prettiest chair she had ever seen. She said, this is going to be a really nice chair. And so she ran and she jumped and went fluff right into the chair. And it was so soft, she started sinking. Her butt started sinking into that chair. And as fast as she could, she jumped back out. She turned around and looked at the chair like there was something wrong with it. And it had a butt print in the cushion right there. She said, that chair almost swallowed me up. I'm not going to sit in that chair. So she sees... What does she see?
Baby Bear's bed.
Baby Bear's what?
Chair.
Yeah. And she goes over to Baby Bear's chair and she sits in it. And it was just right. Yep. And it was so nice and comfy and bouncy that she started bouncing on it. Boing, doing, doing, crack! Uh-oh. Goldilocks broke Baby Bear's chair into 1,000,000 pieces. Well, she said, I got a full tummy, I watched a little television, and I've had my exercise. I think I'll look for a place to lay down and take a nap. She saw the stairs, and she knew that upstairs there must be a bedroom. So, up the stairs she went. Bump, 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 bump. And while she was there, she saw 3 beds. Papa Bear's bed, Mama Bear's bed, and Baby Bear's bed. She saw Papa Bear's bed, and she ran and she jumped in it, and crack! Oh! What kind of maniac sleeps in a bed like this? It's like made from steel. It's like harder than stone. She tried to get down out of the bed, but she got her left foot tangled up in the bedclothes and dragged him onto the floor with her, boom, just like that onto the floor. And and so she saw Mama Bear's bed, and that was the prettiest, softest looking bed she had ever seen. And so she runs up and jump, floof, into Mama Bear's bed. And immediately she started sinking into the bed like it was quicksand. And she's like, help, somebody save me, get me out of this soft bed, I'm sinking, it's going to eat me up. She finally managed to climb out and left a great big Goldilocks print in the mattress. And then she saw Baby Bear's bed. And she said, I'm so sleepy. That bed looks okay. So she climbed in. And she said, this bed is just... She was already asleep by the time her head hit the pillow. Well, guess what? Guess who came home just at that time?
The 3 bears.
Yep, 3 bears came home.
Daddy Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear.
That's right, the family. And Papa Bear looked at his bowl. And he said, somebody been eating my porridge. And they spat it all over the table. And Mama Bear looked at her bowl. Somebody been eating my porridge and they spat it all over the table too. And then Baby Bear come along and he looked at his bowl and he just looked at it and he's like, somebody been eating my porridge too and they ate it all up. There, Baby Bear, it'll be alright. Then they heard the television on, so they walked into the living room. And Papa Bear looked at his chair. It was not even facing the window anymore. And he said, somebody been sitting in my chair. Mama Bear looked at her chair and saw that it had a butt print in it. And she said, somebody been sitting in my chair and they left a butt print in it. And Baby Bear looked at the pile of sticks, 1,000,000 tiny sticks, that was all that was left of his chair. And he said, somebody been sitting in my chair and they broke it into 1,000,000 pieces. Don't worry, Baby Bear, it's going to be alright.
Daddy?
Yeah.
You just went,
Huh?
you went, why?
Well, he was crying because somebody broke his chair into 1,000,000 pieces. I would cry if somebody broke my chair into 1,000,000 pieces. Would you cry if somebody broke your chair into 1,000,000 pieces?
No.
You cried at the grocery store tonight because I wouldn't get you a Kinder Egg. I think you would cry if somebody broke your favorite chair into 1,000,000 pieces. Anyway, they turned off the TV. And as soon as they turned off the TV, what did they hear coming from upstairs in the bedroom? What sound did they hear?
Snoring.
They heard snoring.
And it was haunted.
It was haunted? The 3 Bears house is also haunted? That's cool. We'll have to think of a way to include that in the story next time. Alright, so the 3 bears went upstairs, tiptoeing carefully because they didn't know who was up there snoring. They thought it might be a ghost. Beep, 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 beep. Up the stairs they went. Papa Bear looked at his bed. And he looked disapprovingly at the bed, and he said, somebody been sleeping in my bed, and when they got out, they dragged all the bedclothes off onto the floor with them. Mama Bear looked at her bed, and she said, Somebody been sleeping in my bed and they left a huge child body-shaped print in my mattress. And Baby Bear went up to his bed and he looked there at Goldilocks sleeping. And he said, somebody been sleeping in my bed. And there she is. And when he said, there she is, Goldilocks woke up. And she looked around and she saw 3 angry bears. And she said, great Googa Mooga, I'm out of here. And she made a beeline for the steps downstairs, but she caught the heel of her left foot on the second step from the top, and down she went all the way. All the way down. And she hauled herself up, looked over her shoulder upstairs, and she saw at the top of the stairs 3 angry bears. She said, great Googa Booga, I'm out of here. So she made a beeline for the kitchen. She was aiming to go out the window she came in through, but she caught her left hip on the corner of the table, knocked the table over, all the porridge went everywhere, all the sweet tea went everywhere, and if you ever spilled sweet tea on the floor, you know it oozes around like an amoeba. It's like everywhere. And she fell down in it, and she got all wet and sticky, and she looked at herself and she said, I'm all wet and sticky. And then she jumped out the window, crashed through the plates and dishes that were in the sink, got all messed up and landed on the dirt outside the kitchen window, rolled down the hill, and man, she was covered from head to toe because she was sticky, remember? It was all glue. It was like glue. She was just a monster. She looked like a monster. She looked like a Bigfoot or a wood booger or something like that. And she ran all the way back home, and her mama took one look at her and she said, Goldilocks, what have you been doing? And Goldilocks looked at her mama and said,
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, that's right. So Goldilocks' mama, she said, I know what you've been doing. You done broke into the 3 Bears' house again, eating the porridge and messing up all the furniture and everything, haven't you? And she said, maybe. So Goldilocks' mama picked up the phone and she dialed Mama Bear. Hello? Hello, Mama Bear? Yes? This is Goldilocks' mama. Did my child come to your house and mess everything up, eat your food, and knock everything over and break stuff? Yes, she did. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to send her back over to fix things. We're going to make this right. So she hung up the phone, told Goldilocks, Goldilocks, go back to the 3 Bears' house. You clean up your mess and fix whatever you broke. So Goldilocks went back to the 3 Bears' house, and she cleaned up her mess, and she fixed everything she broke. She, you know how long it took to glue Baby Bear's chair back together after she done broke it into 1 million pieces? It took a long time. And Mama Bear said, okay, all is forgiven. You came back and you fixed it, and everything's cool. So I'm going to make some more porridge, and you're invited to stay for porridge. And Goldilocks sat down and ate her porridge, and she thanked Mama Bear very much, and they all lived happily ever after and were good friends. And that's the end. Did you like your story?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, you're yawning? Why do you have to do that? Now I'm yawning too.